Minecraft is constantly getting updated and went through a lot of updates since its first test demo back in 2009, and then its first release in 2011. Talking about updating, a lot of features have been added and changed in the game, so I wanted to go back to Minecraft's first release 1.0.0 and see for myself how much different the game was compared to the Minecraft we have today. But before we start the video, I just want to tell you that you should consider subscribing if you like the video, and yeah, let's just begin. So I started loading up the game, and as soon as you start 1.0, there are a ton of things you already notice when you open the game for the first time. Not only is the Mojang's logo very different from the one we have now in 1.16 and even the one they had up until 1.15. You can also see the classic title screen again, which had been in the game until 1.12. When it came to creating a world, there already were all the game modes we have today, like creative, survival and even hardcore. But amplified and other world gen settings weren't available apart from the generate structures option. But that should be enough for me shitting on the game's old world creation features. It's time to start with my playthrough. So I started up my Minecraft world, and the first and most obvious thing I did was getting some wood and finding a place to live and build my base. After creating some basic equipment, I decided to settle down at the border of a desert and a forest and started building the bases for what would a few playtime hours later become my humble little house. I didn't finish it immediately, but shortly after, since I first spotted to start mining iron, and I instantly found a ravine with diamond and a cave right next to it. Overall, I had a good start and was already able to make a diamond pickaxe and mine some obsidian. After that, I finished my house, and I gotta admit, it looks really good, especially from my old standards, I guess. There's one thing I noticed when building it though, and it's the fact that the materials most people use when building a base, especially their first base, are always wood and cobblestone or bricks. And even in the newer version, that is the case. I mean, yeah, we got multiple wood variants now, and also a few more stone blocks, but most people still use oak and cobblestone. So they are technically the same blocks, just with a slightly updated and different texture. However, I started getting myself some food sources saved and decided to make a little wheat farm plus chicken pen to have meat. Apparently, you were even able to breed chickens with wheat, and seeds didn't interest them at all. I also made a sugarcane farm to make paper for bookshelves. It was also slowly getting time to enter the nether to get some blaze rods, and to my luck, I spawned right next to a fortress, with another fortress only being a few hundred blocks away, but there was only one problem. I spawned right below the bedrock ceiling of the nether and couldn't find a good way to get to the fortress, so I tried getting vines to grow down all the way to the fortress, with the intention of just climbing down on them. Well, sadly that didn't really work, as you can see. Yeah, turns out that vines went climbable in 1.0, and that feature was first added in 1.2. Thank you, Mojang. And also, if you're wondering why I had no items on me, it was because I died a few minutes earlier to a gas and fell into the lava, so I lost all my stuff. So I scrapped the idea of going to the nether for now and started getting myself a little cow pen so I could breed them and get myself plenty of beef and leather. After I finished that, I got myself some basic equipment back and started going into the nether again, just to die again 2 times in a row because I accidentally hit a zombie pigman, so I scrapped that idea again. Then I decided to make a mob farm, which I ended up not using since it didn't seem to work and I was too lazy to build a proper one. I also made an enchanting table in case I want to do enchanting later. While crafting the books for the bookshelves, I noticed how easy it actually was in this version, since you just needed paper and leather wasn't even required. However, when that was finished, I again decided to go to nether just to die again. I was really unlucky and was still being attacked by pigmen and such, which made the whole process a pain, since I always had iron armor on me when I went to the nether, and usually died by falling into lava and other stupid stuff, which otherwise never happens to me. So I went back to the mine to get more iron to equip myself again. After getting equipped again, it was finally time to go to the nether for the last time, to finally get myself those blaze rods without dying. I managed to find a blaze spawner quickly and get a lot of blaze rods. I might have died 2 or 3 times during the process, but it was worth it, and I finally got my blaze rods. After getting the blaze rods, it was time getting ender pearls, which took some time since I could only really farm them at night, and even then it was kinda rare to find an enderman. But I eventually got there. I also decided to explore a bit during the day, and found a lot of cows which I brutally murdered while listening to Minecraft's beautiful and relaxing music. You know, the usual stuff. And in the end, it proved to be the best decision I ever made, since I got over a stack beef out of that, which lasts until the Ender Dragon fight. After getting all my Ender Pearls, I was finally ready to make some Eyes of Aena and search for the stronghold, but there was one thing I wanted to do, which was enchanting my gear, or at least my sword. I almost got to level 30, but then I heard a zombie under my house and decided to check where it came from. Yep, you know what? Fuck enchanting, I guess. Who needs enchanting gear anyways? Definitely not me. So, it was finally time to go out and find the stronghold with full iron equipment, a diamond sword, plus a diamond helmet and leggings. The stronghold wasn't that far away, but I needed to make a boat to reach it. It made me remember how bad and shitty pre 1.9 boats actually were. They are a pain to control and they break almost as fast and easy as my childhood dreams did. After rowing around for a bit and throwing a ton of Eyes of Ender, I finally found the stronghold and it was time killing the Ender Dragon. The Ender Dragon fight was a lot different from what I expected, especially since they revamped the fight in 1.9. Instead of all the pillars standing in an organized circle, they were just randomly placed on the end island. This made it a lot harder for me to make sure that I hit all of the end crystals, but I eventually got it. The crystals themselves were actually harder to get than the dragon itself. The dragon's AI was very basic and simple, since its only way of attacking was by flying down towards the player and hitting it, which in most cases didn't even deal damage. But the dragon flying towards the player was the best, and if you didn't have arrows left, also the only way of attacking it. It was really not that hard, it just took a lot of time, since the dragon, similar to a phantom nowadays, just instantly flies back up and hit or after an attack, which made it possible to only hit it once and in very lucky cases twice whenever it came down. But then eventually I managed to kill it. It spawned a portal with dragon egg right below the place. I managed to kill it, so I took the dragon egg with me and had finally beaten the game in the oldest ever version that allowed you to beat it. Gotta be honest though, when I first loaded up the game, my idea for this video was to just play through the game and point out every little flaw it had. But very soon into my playthrough, I realized how fun that old version of the game actually was, and also how simple it still was. There were no wood types, no stone types, not even good AI for most of the mobs. But it still was a lot of fun, and I found myself multiple times just playing and listening to the wonderful music of that 11-year-old version of a game that is so much more complex nowadays. And it actually was a nice experience, even though it may not have aged that well compared to newer versions like 1.16. It obviously wasn't perfect, and I think not even the newer versions are, but it was something different and new compared to today, and a welcome new experience nonetheless. Minecraft 1.0 had a lot of flaws, but that doesn't make it bad. I think as long as a game is fun, it's a good game. And that is something you should always keep in mind when you play older and even some newer games. They may have a lot of bugs or not the most revolutionary graphics, but that doesn't mean that a game can't be good. If you look back at Minecraft 1.0, you notice how much the game has changed, but also how much it managed to stay true to its original concept, because the overall experience of Minecraft itself never really changed in my opinion. While playing, I also felt kinda nostalgic for that version, even though it was the first real time I was playing it, and might even be what is so magical about Minecraft. However, that was enough of me blabbering about Minecraft 1.0 and all of that stuff. This video has to end sometime, so yeah, don't forget to subscribe if you liked it, and I hope you're having a great day, and I might be the only person who wishes the viewers a good night. But if you're watching this before going to sleep, have a good night, and bye bye.